Hello everybody and good morning. I am former United States Congressional candidate Kari Ilonummi with a very important message this morning. Today is the morning of October 18th, 2018, and we're going to discuss what would be the economy, my recent political economic forecast, what's happening right now, why it's happening right now, where we're going next. And I'm going to try to be as brief as possible. That's right. So ultimately, as some of you know, and some of you have already received emails or what would be physical copies of this, well, I stated the week prior to this that Judge Kavanaugh would be confirmed to the United States Supreme Court by the week of October 8th, 2018 latest, and that Dr. Ford would will seriously damage women's, liberals, Democrats, progressive, Trump haters, Obama loyalists, resistors, and obstructionists nationwide for the 2018-2020 election cycles, as she will have been found to have willfully, intentionally gave false testimony against Judge Kavanaugh as a rapist when he didn't do it. So some of that is still to come into play, but Judge Kavanaugh did get what would be placed on the Supreme Court, just as I accurately stated. These things are to come, and then the next caveat is what would be mass violence ensuing, that's right, of the liberal left, through folks such as George Soros and family. The Democratic Party ultimately is supporting this, as you see it as typified through Antifa and other organizations and whatnot, especially in places like Portland. Well, luckily we got the Proud Boys down there, and well, the Proud Boys don't exactly, well, they'll let you throw the first punch, but they throw the last, don't they? So anyways, that's very interesting. So next on the horizon, there's going to be a mass arrest of bad guys. That's right, mass arrest. This is going to cause some of you to have optimism. Many of you think that the Clintons and other people will never be held accountable. Well, I'm here today to tell you they will be held accountable. They're on their way to be held accountable and whatnot. I stated that following Judge Kavanaugh's confirmation to the Supreme Court, bad guys involved in child and human trafficking, organ harvesting, and even literally satanic human sacrifices. That may be a little bit much for some of you. A lot of you aren't really spiritual or this or that. Satanic human sacrifices? And dark occult style rituals. Well, there are 56,000 sealed indictments. That's right now. There's only about 5,000 to 6,000 federal sealed indictments. So things are coming into play, but let's get this one straight. And if you want a little evidence, as many of you know, I've stated these things already 2 weeks ago. If you're an Arlington, Washington business owner or individual or live around here, you would have probably already received and heard about this. City Hall surely has, Arlington Police, and many of the residents and business owners, and the word is getting out. That's right, ultimately. So, as many of you know, what would be former First Lady, former Senator, former Secretary of State, former presidential candidate, hopeful, Hillary Clinton just lost her top secret security clearance. So guess what? This stuff is already coming into play. Now I've stated to people, including right here in the 2nd District, to my dear constituents here, Democrats, I stated, eventually you will be forced to purge Congressman Rick Larsen out of the 2nd District and find somebody that's more suitable. If you don't, well, you're going to lose to a Republican, and he's probably going to take over, he or she, for the next upwards of 2 decades as well. So it's one of those things. You hold on to the very end and you're on the Titanic, well, prepare to sink with it. You got to know when to say when. In business, you got to know when to cut your losses and when to get the hell out of Dodge before, well, you're the one at the bottom of the ocean like the Titanic bubbling under. So this stuff is already into play. It's nice because even though it's 2 weeks into play, as I'm telling many of you this for the first time, some of you that already have heard this and have seen this already have a chance to see it's already coming into play in the middle of October, which is what many of you I've stated to you as well. I went around to a lot of businesses, including places just to buy a $5 item, just to go out of my way to state to some of you in Marysville and Everett and whatnot, what is to come. Yes, I always have a way to talk politics. I'm like that. So I fully expect that the bad guys in society will instigate, like I stated, mass violence and political arrest from being the losers in which they clearly are. As, like I stated, Democrats allow the support folks like Rick Larsen, do not protect decent leaders in society and whatnot. Well, you know what happens to you and your families, and after what would be 18 years of Congressman Rick Larsen, how is that working out for what would be many of you and your families? Food for thought. and whatnot. There's a reason why they come at me with these international fake news scandal like in the past, such as Blaze the dog, and I was very disappointed to see many of my constituents and local business owners and people that I've been there for and tried to help you over the years and your families, you weren't even there to protect me from these bad guys and the lies, and that was rather sad and whatnot. But now you and your families are getting it too. Some of you and your children, grandkids are on heroin or methamphetamine, and well, the depression's sinking in, and even some of you that I know that have money don't even go anywhere anymore because you're just so depressed and locked to the couch or whatever. So things are beginning to shake up, and people are beginning to force to think about things differently and whatnot. It's one of those things. We all live and we all learn, don't we? Yes, we do. And speaking of that, as many of you know, I'm already going to school to pursue what would be becoming an attorney. Why am I doing this and what am I doing? Well, I'm 35 years old. Many of you know I want to be fruitful and multiply. I want to have 5 kids. I want to have a nice home. I want to be very successful within my career. I want to be making a couple $100,000 a year. That's right. There's nothing evil or wrong with saying I like money and I want to be wealthy. That's comfortable. That's normal. I want my babies to be able to grow up someday and have college, university education. I want them to be able to grow up not starving, wearing nice, fine name brand clothes and doing real well. When I pass away, I want to have $1 million to give every one of my children someday as their inheritance. There's nothing wrong with that. So what I do for politics is always for you, the people. And that's going to continue to be that way. I'm going to continue to be involved heavily in politics in every which way, and probably even run every 2 years for Congress. Probably. I have to use that as a legal technicality within Washington State, the RCWs. For you political folks, you know what I'm really saying between the lines. So, what I'm doing here is this. I'm going to always fight for you, the people. I'm going to tell you the truth. How many people can go off the rails, off the skit, off their little thing they're talking about and just talk to you? I'm so honest and real for many of you people, it's too much. Rick Larsen is more of a reflection perhaps in some of you because he's more in a fake fairy tale world that lets many of you think, don't worry, none of this is your fault, don't worry, you don't have to change anything, don't worry, you can still get fat, be lazy and go to waste and stick a needle up your ass and everything's going to be a-okay and hunky-dory. Well, if that's what you want to be here, you're going to love 2 more years of Congressman Rick Larsen. That's right. If you love seeing your children overdosing, having to call 911 on them and this and that, half the time these damn sirens are ringing around here is because one of your children or neighbors or roommates is overdosed on the couch. Got to catch myself there. I almost used a derogatory term. Now, colorful metaphors aren't appropriate for this, for a congressional candidate figure such as myself. So here we are today, folks. Many of you are getting exactly what I warned you of over the years, and I have to confess, it's just how it works. When we don't deal with reality, it comes home to roost. And it does. I see people these days, I see depression, suicide going up. Does that sound very happy-go-lucky and whatnot to you? I don't think so. Some of the stuff I said 10 years ago seemed like doom and gloom conspiracy theorist stuff, tinfoil hat stuff. And I'm the one here today with a smile on my face saying it's working out for me. How is it working out for you and your families? I might not ever get to Congress, I don't know, but at least I tried. But I'm becoming an attorney to help you fight for your rights. I'm going to do pro bono cases and take on what would be the establishment and folks that go against and violate your rights. And guess what I'm going to do? As I take your cases on pro bono and don't charge you a dime to initially take it, I'm also going to get 1/3 of that money in lawsuit money and do probably way better than I ever could from politics. So even if I become an attorney versus the congressman, which is my first goal, I'm going to be honest with you. It's going to be less stress, and I'll probably be making $500,000 a year versus $174,000 a year as your congressman. That's right. So either way, for me, it's still okay because I get to tell the truth, do the right thing, earn my place in heaven, make the Lord happy, have a wonderful, happy, healthy home, and then what you, the rest of the people, do or don't do, quite frankly, is going to be your damn problems. And it is. We're all responsible for ourselves. We all have an element of responsibility. And I'm tired of hearing liberals blaming conservatives. I'm tired of hearing conservatives blaming the liberals. You are just as much of the part of the problem, no matter who you are across the spectrum in general, as the other side of the aisle. And until you realize that, wake up, look in the mirror and say, okay, maybe I haven't been perfect. Maybe I could be a better father, a better man, a better woman, a better whatever you call yourself or relate to. Once we start being honest with ourselves and each other and being decent, then we can start getting past this. As soon as we want to keep blaming each other, well, we'll see how that works. So, I don't want to go off on you too much, but it's a reality check that only I can give you in politics. See, other people have to kiss your ass. They're worried if I upset you and rub you the wrong way, you won't vote for me. I don't give a rat's ass, quite frankly. I want your vote, but if you don't vote for me, guess what? I'm still becoming an attorney. I'll be there within the next 5 years. I'll be doing great, and I'll be wearing even nicer custom tailored clothes than I am today. So like I said, it's working out for me. Is it working out for you? Do you, the people in Western Washington, want a leader like me? One that'll tell you the truth, even when you're the one that's wrong? One that'll go to Washington and lay it down and fight as a fighter? Or do you want a sissy, worthless punk and a bitch? That's right. Congressman Rick Larsen is a bitch. That's what he is. And I don't care if this hurts me in the next election or not. It's the truth. He's a sissy and a worthless, useless bitch. And many of you Democrats and liberals know this. He screwed you over. You wanted Bernie in Everett. You wanted Bernie on Camino Island, in Linwood, in Edmonds, in Bellingham, in Mount Vernon. You wanted Bernie Sanders, and he told you, screw you. I'm going with Hillary. I'm with her. Yeah, that's what he told you. You still were stupid enough, some of you, to vote for him, and look where it got you. You didn't get Bernie. Your kids are on heroin, contemplating suicide and depression. Many of you are in counseling, taking all kinds of psych meds. I mean, honestly, you think it's normal to have to be on an antidepressant, anti-anxiety, or pill just to get through your day? It's not normal. It's not healthy. If you don't deal with reality, reality has a way of dealing with you. And one thing I know about the Bible, one thing I know about God, one thing I know about a farmer, once the tree gets so rotted, sometimes you have to cut off the bad limbs to save the rest of the tree. Sometimes that's what happens. So be careful when you get caught up in sin, because if you get too caught up, the Lord, you'll push him out of your home, you'll push his blessings out of your home, and you'll be there, and guess who's left? The devil. The devil. Some of you don't believe in Satan. Well, I do. I don't worship Satan. I believe in Jesus Christ and God above. But I'll tell you what, some of you that haven't figured that out yet, you're going to learn. You're going to learn to pray. And some of the stuff that's happening over the weeks and months ahead, I had to say it, but needs to happen. We need a reset. We need a reset. Some people have gone so far off the deep end. I've got friends and people around here I know they're snorting more drugs up their damn nose every month than they're putting in their families' mouths for food. Sick. One of them had a dad that lost their lives due to an overdose just a few months ago. And what's the family doing? Same old shit, different day. You guys haven't learned. You haven't learned. Well, you will learn. Trust me, many people will learn. So, like I said, who's going to be your next Congress member, governor, president, or this or that? It's not going to be up to us, the leaders. It's going to be up to you, the people. It's like a paycheck. You don't just go down to the cabinet shop and say, it's Friday, I want my check. If I didn't work for the last 2 weeks, or neither did you, guess what? You don't get no damn paycheck. You get what you get out of life. You get what you put in. And if you don't like what you're getting out of life right now, then maybe it's time to start working together. Find proper leadership. If it's me, if it's someone else, that's up to you. But it's time to get straight. Now, I've gone on a serious tangent here. Let's get back to these economic forecasts. I stated as well that we'll see a bank-style holiday, possibly even before what would be the 2018 primary elections. That's not guaranteed, but that could happen, and it's on the way to happening no matter what, I can assure you, over the next 2 years max. What do I mean by bank holiday specifically? The banks will be literally shut down. On a physical aspect or digitally through internet or whatever, you will not be able to access your finances through your personal bank account. That's right. There'll be a major financial upset, reset, and things happening. And I'm going even further. I'm saying that this could happen anywhere between the 24th and 28th of this month. But what has to happen before that, before gold, and that's right, silver and gold may be used and probably will be used to help back the dollar, and I'm expecting the Federal Reserve to be abolished as well. Wow. Hey, only under President Trump we got leadership like that. Ron Paul doesn't have it. He bent over and flaked out. He gave up. He didn't even fight it all the way out, remember? Now, I'm not talking about Senator Rand Paul. I'm talking about his father, Ron Paul, the Congress member. Yeah, I liked him. I voted for him, but he was flimsy too. He was telling people in June, keep sending me money and I'm going to run all the way. And by the end of June, he popped out of the race. Come on. Come on. I don't want no excuses. We need leadership. Leadership don't have guts to fight these days. I'll tell you what, I've got the guts to fight. I don't care who likes it, I don't care who doesn't. I'm going to do the right thing according to the Bible, the United States Constitution. And if I discover, if somebody shows me I'm wrong about something, I'm not going to hold on to my ego and go against you. I don't fight when I'm in the wrong. I take a step back and say, oh wow, and I readjust what I do, my footing. So if I'm wrong, of course I'm going to change. I'm going to change like that overnight, like that. So if you heard an idea of mine over the year or two, over the years change, it's because I discovered I was wrong and flawed, and I changed it like that, easily, very quickly. So the Federal Reserve is about to go, dollar is about to go sovereign and be backed by actual gold and silver even, and be called the U.S. Treasury note once again. That's right, your money. It's you, the people, not this private institution called the Federal Reserve that's taking a lot of your money and sending it overseas. That's right, the bailouts. The bailouts, you don't know this, some of you, but a lot of the money that you paid in debt and the bailout went to European banks. It didn't even help us. It didn't. Try to go get a loan. I have business owners and friends that tell me they can't even get a loan, and they got perfect credit and $3 million in the bank, and they still can't get a loan. What does that say? So much for all that money being used to capitalize and help the United States. Yeah, Obama, change you can believe in. There you go. No wonder why I wanted to impeach Obama. He was a scum. Now, the price of silver is about to go to up to 600 an ounce, and gold possibly up to 10,000 an ounce once this baby hits. That's right. And once the dollar is going to be backed by gold, woo! That's right. So this is your chance. Hopefully for many of you, the forecast doesn't happen over the next month. You still have at least 6 more to get your hands on silver and gold. Silver's going for 15 an ounce. Gold is going for about $12.50 or so. You could easily get your hands on the silver when it's only 15 an ounce. Very cheap. These political forecasts have already started to play out with Judge Kavanaugh, the violence, as we see from Antifa to different factors. I already started school, working on becoming a legal assistant, paralegal, and as you know, I'm heavily considering running against Rick Larsen in 2020 and whatnot. And very exciting news as that is. So no matter what, I'm at a point in my life when life is moving forward. I've hung on to the Titanic long enough. I tried to save everybody, and I'm going to keep working on yelling at everybody to come on everybody, let's go, get off the boat, save yourselves. But this is that point in the boat before I sink with the rest of some of you that are too stupid, too caught up in sin, too weak, or too something, too caught up with Rick Larsen, Obama, or something, hanging on by the teeth by his left butt cheek. If those of you want to sink and go to the bottom of the Puget Sound or ocean or whatever, that's your business. It's your freedom and it's your right to do so. But it's my right to say, okay, my family and I is going to say, okay, we're going to keep doing the political thing, but we're going to also go toward being an attorney. So no matter what, in 5 years from now, I am where I need to be in life. So I know in 5 years from now or less, I'll be where I need to be in life and a very successful man. Where will you be in 5 years from now? That's a question. God bless each and every one of you. I will be discussing these elections. I'll be discussing who I'm voting for and supporting for the Washington State elections. That's right, including throwing out some endorsements to people. I'll be discussing that and so much more over the weeks ahead. Thank you so much. And I will say regarding one race in Spokane, those of you that are in the district of State Representative Matthew Shea, I highly recommend and would urge you to please vote for what would be Representative Matt Shea. A vote for Matt Shea is a vote for freedom, and please do not listen to the fake news propaganda being spewed by the liberal left institutions such as the Seattle Times and other entities that are purposely, willfully, wittingly lying and deceiving and manipulating you, the people. Matt Shea is not crazy, he's not mean, and nor is he intentionally trying to do any harm to the state of Washington. Thank you so much, everybody. I am Kari Ilonummi. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I got to get to school. So talk to you later, and ta-ta. Thank you so much.